Diminishing value return on investment. What is that? How is this relevant to you? Well, turns out that advertising is experiencing this thing that I'm talking about, diminishing value return. And why is this a problem? Well, it turns out that the more money that you spend on advertising today, and the current strategy and form of it, is that it's kind of going off of this strategy that I like to call eyeball catching. You're hoping that you can capture as many eyeballs as possible, because the more eyeballs that you capture, the more likelihood of a conversion you're going to get, and therefore the more money you're going to get. And that's the current form of advertising that we've become accustomed to and we've become used to. And it turns out, as I said, it's experienced the diminishing value return. The more money you spend on this, the more likely you're going to get more money, but it's not giving that same return on investment that it once did. Therefore, there needs to be innovation. There needs to be disruption, and there needs to be change. And how and what is this going to be? Well, it's a thing that I like to call immersive experiences that are going to be utilizing augmented reality, virtual reality, and spatial computing. Now, this is, in my opinion, the future of advertising. And while many people are talking that the Apple Vision Pro and the Quest 3 and all these other forms of headsets are really the future and they're here today, well, it turns out they are here today, and you can make experiences for them today. And they're going to be a great differentiator versus just using another form of eyeball catching. And why is this? Because you can demonstrate your value of your brand, your company, and your products in a totally new and immersive way versus just kind of telling somebody and trying to throw a bunch of images at them in the hopes that you're going to create a conversion rate. Now, let me talk about what I mean by these immersive experiences. Well, the main thing is that I want to talk about is really the screen real estate, for example, in that most of these videos and these current form of advertising are designed and built for a small screen. And that small screen is really all you kind of have in the room that you have to deal with. And in order to populate things, you need to do things very quickly. And you need to get them all arranged and organized in that small screen space so that you can hopefully be seen. But with immersive experiences, your canvas is limitless. It is all around you. And in fact, can be populated very much directly around you. And this is an extremely great new opportunity to create unique experiences, to create things where your customers discover your product versus you having to throw yourself and your brand and your company at them to get their attention. And this in itself is extremely important from a mindset of how are we going to approach and create this value and demonstrate said value. So I know that there's a lot of people that are kind of going and are a little afraid of this dystopian view of like, oh my gosh, we're going to have advertisements coming out and popping out at you in different ways. And I really think that that strategy is going to just remain in the past now. And instead, it's going to be focused on really customers just going through and finding their own ways. And it's actually going to be the subtle differences in your environment that gets your attention inverse to that of what we kind of become used to. Back when I was in college, I came up with this idea that I called port key. Now, this idea, port key, I'll be honest, I was stole from Harry Potter, because the idea is that when you touch something, it transports you and teleports you to a far-off land. And this is kind of what I'm expecting these immersive experiences to be doing and what these kind of form of advertisings are going to be. Now, in particular, I'll give a demonstration of what said advertising user journey is going to be like. So you're cruising along, you're doing your thing, and you see a Coca-Cola bottle sitting on the ground in your room. And you're like, I don't have a Coca-Cola bottle there, and why is this out of place? And you go and touch it, and bam, you get teleported into a new immersive experience that Coca-Cola has created and crafted so that you can experience this new thing. Now, that's great. It's fun. It creates value, and it creates this fun little experience. But let me tell you and give you another reason as to why that little fun experience is extremely more valuable and impactful than that of previous forms of advertising. Because the sensory array that are on these new headsets and these new head-mounted computer devices or spatial computing in general is that you're being able to be tracking your customers as they go through that journey. And therefore, you can understand at every point in which the advertisement is being effective or is being interesting or is being effective at doing what it is doing, versus throwing out a bunch of videos and saying, okay, this one worked, this one didn't, and this one's going to be more impactful. These new immersive experiences, you can create better advertisements that are more impactful, more personalized, and making it so that your customers actually really enjoy them instead of just wanting to actively skip it. And that is what I see and I feel and I'm very excited about for the future of advertising. Because instead of us focusing on, oh, I can't wait to get this out of my face, instead we're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be an epic new journey that I'm going to be taking on. And that is the optimism and the future that I want you to have about this new future of advertising. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Trent, and I'm looking forward to talking to you soon about the new things that are coming out tomorrow. Bye.